How this relates to very young children then, bringing this into schools, into 4 to 5 year olds and talking to them, about, the curriculum is already in place where it's acknowledged that children aren't stupid, they're really intelligent and they know how their bodies are and they know who they are in their childlike way. But to bring this in, and deliberately talk to them, and I've watched videos and children are shocked, by what they're shown, and it's an adult value imposed on a small child. And the morality of it is quite shocking, but also the damage to the child, you think, are you taking away their innocence and their, childhood?
Well, I believe it's a deliberate attack on innocence. I believe that the plan is to chip away at a child's inborn innocence and sense of embarrassment. Those really are precious things that we need to honor and we need to protect. Instead, the sexuality educators want to introduce ideas and images to very young students, and to accustom them to the notion that school is the place where we talk about such things, so that the child, and in an environment where there's both boys and girls. So for example, every sexuality education curriculum will say that kids as young as 5 or 6 must be taught the proper names for their genitalia. Now, I have no objection if parents want to do this at home. I have no problem with that, in the privacy of their own home with their parents. But to do this in school, where kids are surrounded by their friends, they're with their teacher, I don't know what other agenda the teacher may have. But Jackie, I'm wondering, how do you teach a child, where their penis and scrotum are and their vulva and vagina if you do not have some sort of diagram or image of that? I don't know how they're doing that. I've looked into it. I don't know precisely what's being used there, but that's problematic if they're being shown images. What these sexuality educators claim is that it's necessary to do this because it prevents child abuse. But their argument does not hold up. What they further say is that it's important that children know the specific names of the different areas of their genitalia so that they will be able to recognize if someone touches them in those areas. Otherwise, they won't know that they've been abused and that they need to report it, which is absurd. All they need to be told is that no one is allowed, aside from if they're getting a bath and their parents are bathing them or the doctor's examining them, no one is allowed to ask to see or touch those areas that are covered by your bathing suit. That's it.
And any child gets that. Most children get that. That's all you need. We were children once, we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I say that there's more going on here. They want to introduce to children, they want children to be comfortable to chip away at their embarrassment at discussing these issues at school and in a sort of public forum with a teacher that they really may not know at all, so that their embarrassment and their innocence is chipped away, and that later, a few years later, when they bring up much more graphic and disturbing information, they will, it will be easier for them to accept it and to just think, you know, this is what you talk about in school. You don't only learn history and multiplication, you talk about all these private issues.
So it's a grooming, it's a kind of grooming, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, it's very sad, really, that people are so myopic.
I read the other day that 10% of sexual assaults on children occur at the hands of school employees. And, you know, sexuality has definitely has a foothold in our schools, in our high schools, obviously, but in our elementary schools and even in our, you know, in with the kindergarten and very young. So this is a dangerous ideology. This does not belong in school.